Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm happy to be here. We had to stop and restart. We're really having a lot of trouble with the system. We're having so much trouble with the system. We're working nonetheless to get things in order. If we have to stop 100 times, we'll get it right. And so that we can get this knowledge out to you. You got to get knowledge out to you. We want to get this knowledge out. And it has to be a sanctified knowledge, a true knowledge. Right? We got to get this knowledge out to you. Don't forget, brothers and sisters, we have Prince Imhotep University. And that's knowledge for you to learn the herbal sciences, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So you can learn that. We also have Muhammad University, brothers and sisters, certainly can to that. Because we believe that you need to be of the knowledge and the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as is taught by Master Farakhan Muhammad, and Silas Muhammad is teaching that knowledge. So we encourage you. Today we're going to be talking about Minister Louis Farakhan's deviation from the Nation of Islam. His deviation from the Nation of Islam. There's a lot going on, and we got to challenge. We have to challenge. A lot of things we see that are inaccurate. We have to challenge these things. God is freeing us. God is releasing us from this white man's bondage, and brothers and sisters, we got to be ready. We got to be ready. We're going to need some African-centered science. African-centered science. Is that right or wrong? So you already know that God is preparing us. And I love it. African-centered science, and God is certainly preparing us. God is preparing us. I'm thankful to be in this time. Thankful for the difficulty, the good days as well as the bad. Because it's from there that God is going to deliver us. We have to put our trust in God. I put my trust in God. God is the only one you can trust. I don't care what man or woman it is in your life. You can trust God. You can always trust God. God is 100%. God is 100%. Now, He can make that person dependable. God can. God can make them dependable. But without God in our lives, we will be exactly as those that are governed by the enemy. So we have to be wise. And we have to be steadfast. And we have to be unmovable. And we have to always be abounding in the work of God. We got to be abounding in the work of God. We need God. I don't know about you, but I need God. I need God, brothers and sisters. Don't forget, we have holistic practice and products. Put that in the chat section or the top chat section. Holistic practice and products. We need God. Some people will literally wear you down. Some people will wear you down. They really don't get it. They're so used to being abused that when somebody is nice to them, they don't understand it. They understand it. We need God, though. All of us can be a handful without God. If we get God in our lives and God in everything that we do, and truly get God there. God's not going to tell you to destroy your family, brothers and sisters. That's not the kind of God you serve. He don't endorse that. God don't endorse that. And I have to tell you, I got to let you know, I have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose in letting you know the truth. Nothing in this world to lose to let you know the truth. We have to be willing to follow the truth and the blueprint that is set by God, that was delivered to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. As black people, it will truly deliver us. Don't forget, brothers and sisters, we have Veggie Station. If you're looking to open a business, you can open a business with Veggie Station. It won't cost you anything except your products. We'll come set up for you and everything. I think it's very interesting that it'll certainly provide jobs. Certainly provide jobs. So don't forget. These things that we're putting on the side, make sure you get in it and you are looking to it. Don't forget also, we have support places where you can buy paraphernalia, our watches, our glasses, our boots, our hoodies, the shikis, many things of that nature. We have a few things listed, but if you let us know what you want, we'll certainly get it for you. We tell you to buy black. Make sure you buy black. Make sure you buy black. That supports you. It supports your community. I can't make you do it, and if you're not going to do it, you don't have to badmouth me, right, brothers and sisters? You don't want to do it, don't do it. Keep giving the white man all your money, right? He's not going to do anything for you anyway. Our problem is that we treat one another horrible. We won't support one another. It's horrible. You can't say that you're following God and you're fighting against your brothers and sisters. That's not following God. You're a religious hypocrite if you do that. Only religious hypocrites say they're following God, break up their families, and will fight one another, man and woman. I'm talking to both of you. The reason our children are rebellious is because they can't see the parents get along. That's the truth. They're learning bad habits from us. It's not one or the other. It's both of us learning bad habits. So we have to come together. You got to come together. I don't care who you're with. Learn to respect one another so that when our children look at us, they can have a sense of respect for one another. If you see your children acting out, just know it's because you're acting out. You can't take a mother out of the home without the child acting up. You can't take a father out of the home without the child acting up. So we fulfill the white man's job. The white man ain't got to worry about us fighting one another, putting us against one another today, because we do it all on our own. And we do it because we don't have any guidance. We've deviated from the teachings, brothers and sisters. We've deviated from the teachings that God has given us. And we've deviated because we become lovers of ourselves rather than lovers of God. And this is the truth. This is the truth. This is something that we have to accept. We got to accept it among ourselves. We will not grow. We will not grow until we accept that. No one person is perfect. And don't worry, when you go to try to blast somebody else and dig ditches for somebody else and try to blast people on the internet, just know that people soon will wake up and you will soon meet somebody that will do you the same way. It's just a bad practice. We have to learn how to treat one another right and bond together. Right? The black family. Because you don't know what he'll be like after. And unity is your strength.
And everybody was saying, what about
Satan? You have to be in unity.
With all
the only way it's going to work.
Success rates, you know that he has the best chance here.
The only way it's going to work.
Looking at 3 to 8 months.
All right, put that down there. And we're going to get on to our subject and start talking about what matters. We're going to start talking about what matters. So God is awakening us today. God is awakening us today. And we have to be wise enough. Brothers and sisters, we have to be wise enough to accept the great day of our God. We have to be wise enough to accept that God is moving in an awesome way. And if we want to be a part of that plan and his plan of salvation, then we have to be obedient to his word. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And you know what bothers me? You have a lot of people talking against the Nation of Islam. The white man can get you to believe in a white Jesus. Literally, globally believe in a white Jesus. When you and I both know that Jesus coming from a very hot climate, right? There's a beautiful dark-skinned brother with nappy hair. He's not carbonation. Beautiful and black. Beautiful and black. And that he was speaking against the powers. That he was speaking against the powers. We have to understand that. We got all kind of interruptions here. I apologize, brothers and sisters. I apologize for these interruptions. I don't know what's going on with this machine. I don't know what, but I'm going to keep this. I'm not even going to erase it. I'm going to keep this reel going just like it is. But the devil is busy, right? These little machines that we have now are interrupting everything that we're doing, right? Because the devil is busy. But we're talking about Farakhan. We're talking about Farakhan. We're going to continue to talk about Farakhan because we know that Farakhan is the white man's bombshell to work against us. We already know that. We already know. So we've got to be wise. We've got to get away from this false teaching that Farakhan is teaching us. Got to get away from it. Not teaching us. When I say us, I'm saying it's black people. He doesn't represent us. He doesn't represent the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He's befriending these white people, and you see that the enemy has had them all along in their pockets because he's trying to get black people to accept white people and white people's ways. See, we got to be wise. We are in a war, brothers and sisters. We're in a war where we have to fight. We don't have a choice. We're in a war where we are fighting and we have to fight. We literally don't have a choice. So I invite you to come with me. I invite you to come with me on this quest to find out what truth is. Right? We need to understand that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, when he said the white man was the devil, he never went back on that. And Farakhan is a master liar, and he has said that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad told him to stop using the word devil. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. We can't believe anything that Farakhan says because he's been befriending these white folks. We can't believe anything that he said. Okay? So we have to be busy. We got to be steadfast. We got to be unmovable, always abounding in the work. Always abounding in the work. So, brothers and sisters, just understand that we have a job to do. That job is to find the truth. Right? The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said the white man is the devil. That's the great start right there. Right? You can see today that he is the devil. Can't you see that the white man is the devil? Of course you can. Of course you can. You can see that the white man is the devil. So Farakhan has deviated from the teaching of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Right? What will you do? What will you do? Farakhan is like a tree. Farakhan is like a tree, leaning to its death. What will you do? We see the truth coming up on the horizon. Is that right or wrong? We see the truth coming. And so because we see the truth coming, then we're able to recognize a lie. Is that right or wrong? Excuse me, brothers and sisters. Because we see the truth coming, we're able to recognize the lie. We've been lied to. You and I have been lied to. You and I have been lied to. We have been hoodwinked. Right? Put that in there. You and I, we have been hoodwinked. You know we have. We've been hoodwinked by Farakhan. Is that right or wrong? We've been hoodwinked. So he don't speak the truth. We got to discover once Farakhan dies, because everything pivots on that. We got to discover what we are going to do now while Farakhan is yet alive. He's 91 years old, right? You don't live that long being a threat to the evil government, right? Because this government in America is against God. You can say what you want. You can say what you want, but this government in America is against God. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? How will you survive Farakhan? You're going to have to survive Farakhan. Right? We had a lot of interruptions. As we tried to get this show together, we have a lot of interruptions. You know, when you're trying to do something good, the devil will interrupt what you're doing. When you're trying to do something good. Now, if I was doing something bad, the devil wouldn't be interrupting what I've got going on. But when you know that you're in a spiritual warfare, and that's what you and I are in. That's what we're in. We're in a spiritual warfare. Right? We fight not against what? Flesh and blood. We fight not against flesh and blood, but against powers, against principalities, against darkness and high heavenly realm, right? Or high places. There's not only spiritual high places, physical high places. Because Satan's kingdom is on this earth. Right? The kingdom of Satan is on this earth, brothers and sisters. Why do you think the white man get away with so much? He's the devil. You gotta understand that. That's why I can get away with all the stuff that he get away with. That's why he gets away with it. I gotta get you to see it. You don't see it. Right? I gotta get you to see it. That the devil is running this planet. He's been given this planet for a certain period of time. Satan has. That's why it's important for us to follow God and follow the rules of God until the day of our salvation. That salvation will come because God, what he's going to do is move all over the land, right? And if you're righteous, you'll know what's happening. Like today, we know what's happening because we're righteous. Righteous don't mean perfect. Righteous means the will and desire to do what's right. Is that right or wrong? To make the right decision. That's being righteous. The will and desire to make the right decision amidst all situations. Amidst all tribulations, right or wrong. So we have to be wise, brothers and sisters. And I know this is going to be the craziest recording that you've ever heard because we had stuff running in the background and the systems are messing up. But nonetheless, we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this because we got some hot and heavy things to discuss. After we discuss this, we're going to move away from Farakhan. And we'll get on the discussion of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and what he truly teaches so that we can get the help that we need. We're not going to stay on this long. We're not going to stay on this long, but we're going to talk just a little bit. We're going to talk just a little bit so we can get full understanding of the plan of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as he changed the lives of men and women that are in the marry clay of the hate of the white man. We're going to have some understanding, right? So we need to be talking not integration, not segregation, but we need to be talking separation. Is that right or wrong? And this is the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. I'm so sorry that the other program we had to discontinue it in order to bring up this program. But we need to talk about the theology of the Nation of Islam. right? And we need to debunk the sociologist of religion, David Barrett, because he has some horrible things to say. Barrett is a British sociologist of religion who has widely written books on topics pertaining to new religious movement and Western exorcism. He's a regular contributor to the Independent, Fortean Times, and the Catholic Herald, right? And anybody dealing with the Catholic Church, you know something's wrong with them. You know something's wrong with them. So these sociologists of religion, the white people, right? White people, these sociologists of religion, they study the beliefs and practices of organizational forms of religion using tools and methods of the discipline of sociology. Their objective is to investigate. And while the investigation may include the use of both quantitative and qualitative approaches. Now, who is the white man? Because remember, he's the one in charge of this entire world. Same one that's killing you. Come on, brothers and sisters. You know what I mean. The same one that's killing you is in charge of this world. Here's the man that is dragging you and beating you and busting you all upside your head and busting you all upside your mouth, and he's the one that he'd stand before you and ridicule you. Will ridicule you for your religious doctrine. You got to be strong. Black people have to be strong in this world today. We've got to be strong. The way that the white man come against us and mistreat us, we have to be strong. And this is the truth. It's not hate. And they say, well, brother's talking hate. Not talking hate. I'm telling the truth. Telling the truth. The white man is in no moral position. No moral position to speak against the black man. He's in no moral position to do it. Because of the blood that he has on his hands daily. Since his existence, he's been murderous. Demonic and evil. Killing nations. He went to continents, say he was discovering them, and he killed all the people. Tasmania was just one of those places where he absolutely went through and killed everybody in there. Everybody. Took some of them as captives and displayed them in zoos. This white man we're dealing with. He's a beast. So the theology of the Nation of Islam is very distinct and is extremely detailed and religious, but is able to reorder the priorities of a person's social life, especially blacks. Because there's the only people we're concerned about. We're not concerned about the white man. He can take care of himself. As you can see, he is doing it. But it causes us to self-examine ourselves. Look at our condition, right? And build in us a do for self mentality. And you have to understand this. We believe that God is able to do all things. This is what we believe. We believe that God is anthropomorphic in the sense that he would take human form. The Bible teaches that. It said Jesus came down in human form. Is that right or wrong? David Barrett, they use words that are tricks. They use words that are tricks to try to get you to think that the Nation of Islam believe different than the black Christian. That's not true, brothers and sisters. We believe exactly what the black Christian believe. God is a man. We just cannot make him other than a man. This is most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Least we make him an inferior one. For man's intelligence has no equal in other than man. His wisdom is infinite, capable of accomplishing anything that his brain can conceive. God is a man. This is the teaching of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, statement made in 1965. He says again that God is a man, and we cannot just make him other than a man. We can't make him other than a man. At least we make him an inferior one. So God is the perfect man, the first man. right? Because our intelligence has no equal with the intelligence of God. God's wisdom is infinite, capable of accomplishing anything that his brain can't conceive. That's God. Man without limitation is God. See, the NOI teaches that history can be divided into distinct cycles. That each ruled by a new God who takes over from his predecessor. See, we believe, this is what we believe. Elijah Muhammad is the last messenger. After him, there'll be no other. Right? But that we can teach the message of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and succeed in that teaching. We believe that. Right? We believe that. We believe in the reality. We believe in the reality of God, right? We believe in the power of God, and we believe that our potential is infinite, that we'll continue whatever we conceive that we can bring forth. Right? Then Jesus said, you say you believe in Jesus. Jesus said, ye are my brothers, all that do the will of my Father, and what I have done, ye shall do greater things. Come on, brothers and sisters. Allah is a black man, the perfect black man. God in person, the perfect black man. You have to understand that for the nation teaches that the mind without shackles is limited in its ability. Limited in its ability. The book of Isaiah tells us that the devil is a man. You believe the devil is a spirit. The white man tells you that he's a spirit, but the Bible said that the devil is a man. But it's hard for you to believe that God is a man. God is the perfect man, right? But it said, let us make man in our own image and our own likeness. Come on, brothers and sisters. If we are the image and likeness of God, what is God? If we are in the image and likeness of God, what is God? Okay, and then so what God do, we can do. Right? That our potential is limitless. We have limitless potential. Is that right or wrong? So we have to believe. And we have to be constantly evolving. Be ye not what? Transformed this world, but be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. But a lot of people don't believe what they read. Right? Then St. Paul said that, be ye not conformed to this world. Don't be limited to this world, what it can do. Right? Because you've been made to do greater than that. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Whatever you think, right, you can do. Well, then Jesus says, so the person thinketh, so is he. So the person believeth, so is he. You know the good thing about children, whatever you put in them, they believe it. Whatever you put in them, they will perform it. That's the beautiful thing about our children. We have the faith until we get around individuals full of doubt. And as we grow up, we don't learn faith. Our faith should get stronger when we grow up. But because we're around people that doubt, our faith gets weaker. Right? So we become victims of our environment. We become victims. Right? When the black man in our environment don't believe he can do any better, he starts selling drugs. He don't believe he can do any better, he start drinking. Right? It's two things. He don't believe he can do any better, he start using drugs. He starts stealing when he don't think he can do any better. He start killing. Why? Because he don't think he can do any better. And he has to be, in a sense, put in a situation. He don't have to do it in the prison, but it's common for him to do it in the prison where he's in a situation where he has no alternative than to think about his actions over and over and over again. That's a level of hell, right? Confinement, right? And just like being in America is a level of confinement for us, is a level of hell for us because it is a confinement. We have to think widely about what's going on. You have to think clearly and think widely about what's going on. You and I, brothers and sisters, are in a psychological warfare. Psychological warfare. And even with putting the truth out, the devil will fight it tooth and nail. Tooth and nail. He's not concerned about the wino, drug addict or drug user. They're already in his system. He's not concerned about the prostitute, the pimp, or the gigolo. They're already in his system. He's not concerned about the thief. He's not concerned about the murderer. They're already in his system. The white man gets angry when black people use their mind and come together. That's when he gets angry. He's not worried about the false prophets like Farakhan and all the rest of them that are teaching the wrong thing. T.D. Jakes and all of them. The devil don't care about them. I say the physical devil. You know who he is. He don't care about them. He don't care. He's concerned with the black man that's trying to build up his community and beautify his community. He wants to run you insane so you will be out there doing things. And it's hard. It's hard to live in this bondage that the white man calls freedom. He knows you're in bondage. He knows it, but you got to buy into it. He wants you to buy into this illusion of freedom. But you and I both know we're not free, brothers and sisters. We know we're not free. We already know it. Is that right or wrong? So we got to get wise. We got to get intelligent to be able to do God's will. To be able to do God's will. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not the will of the devil, but we got to do God's will. And God's will is that none would be lost. So we should be going to tell brothers and sisters. Is that right or wrong? We should be going to tell brothers and sisters, talking to them, sharing them this good news of the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's what we should be doing. So that they'll be able to have hope and see the work that we're doing, see the faith, walk in the faith and talk in the faith, knowing that their living will not be in vain. Knowing that their living will not be in vain. This is what God is calling us to do. He's calling us to do his work. We got to fulfill the work of God. We're being called to fulfill the work. It's not just going to happen. We got to be examples to our children. We have to be examples to brothers and sisters in society that have given up. We got to be example to the elderly of our society that have fought and put in hard work to live right. We got to be an example. We got to be an example to these individuals. And we got to be wise. Brothers and sisters, we got to be wise in how we move today. We got to be creative in how we bring our children up out of these depressions into a supreme wisdom and supreme understanding. And we'll never do it in this white man's version of freedom. We won't do it. It's freedom of death. It's separation of death. We got to separate out of this hell, right? Whether it be physically, psychologically, mentally, whichever way, we've got to separate. Build up our community. Put libraries in our community, research centers, all these things. So when our children see it, they'll be able to see the contribution that we're willing to make. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. I know you understand. They'll be able to see the sacrifices that we're making to put them in a better condition to appreciate their community and to invest in their community, their time, their efforts, and to grow. And we're the best example in front of them. They'll be the best example in front of the children below them. That was what the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's what he wanted for his black community. Excuse me. That's what he wanted for his black community. We can do that, brothers and sisters. We can do that in our community if we'll stand. We can do it. The question is, will we do it? That's the question. We have to do it. We have no choice. We have to do it. Martin Luther King said in 1968 to Harry Belafonte, he said, we're going to get integration. He said, I see it on the horizon and everything. We're going to get all of that. He said, but I truly am disturbed. Harry Belafonte said, why? He asked Dr. King, why was he disturbed? He said, because he said, I've led my people into a burning house. He said, we're in a country that have no morals. And when a country have no morals, they'll do anything to seek power. He said, and I've led my people into this kind of country, this kind of mentality. This is from Martin Luther King Jr. We've been duped, right? He was duped. But they don't want to show anybody that. They don't want to tell anybody that. That's the last thing they want to show about Dr. King. Dr. King was one of the most courageous men that we ever had the pleasure of leading us. He was courageous, beautiful brother, and really felt that if he gave the white man a chance, that he would turn from his wicked ways. But he found out you can't save him. Just like the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told him in 1966, you can't save these people. The white man don't want to be saved. You can't save him. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told that to Dr. King. You can't save these people. Who is Farakhan to lead a million-man march to think that he can atone the white man? That's what he said. While the white people are still killing us and everything. And I'll tell you something. I have no respect for anyone that will sit there and tell you to allow the white man to attack you. Your children are standing around defenseless. Your wife standing around defenseless, and you waiting on a man to give you the word to defend them. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. I believe it's a shame before God and man and even the devil if you don't defend your family and defend yourself. You're out of your mind. We got to get wise and intelligent. We have to get wise and intelligent. Stop lying to ourselves and stop following these fake leaders. Farakhan is one. T.D. Jakes is another one. Every time you turn around, they're trying to tell you something that has no substance, no weight. Farakhan, again, is no threat to the United States government and anyone else. He's no threat. He's no threat. He's 91 years old. All the threats are dead. Any threat to the American government is dead. And I have to tell you that. I got to tell you that. You got to know it. You got to know it. All the threats to the American government is dead. There are no threats. There are no threats. Farakhan was a part of the puzzle to keep you and I puzzled. Huh? Yeah. And a lot of Muslims are knowing it. There are Muslims in his own organization that are saying it now. Muslims in Farakhan's own organization don't trust him. Huh? Yeah. So you have to know this. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. You have to know this. You have to know this. And God is opening the eyes of these brothers and sisters. God is opening their eyes. God is opening their eyes. So we've got a lot of work we got to do. We're going to have a lot of children, a lot of young adults, a A lot of men and women are going to be looking to us for the truth. Those that are holding to the true teaching of the Most High Elijah Muhammad. Where else do they have to go? They've been in the Christian churches, right? See those preachers lying to them and robbing them, stiff, blind. They're going to have to come to the nation. Not all the Christian churches are doing it, because there are some churches, especially the apostolic ministry, they're going to teach against that devil. I've heard them. Those brothers are fierce. They're almost like the nation. The apostolic ministers, and they'll come to our meetings and we'll go to their meetings because they're teaching the same thing, that God is in control. And they got enough sense to know that God is in everything and everybody, right? And that nothing happens without the power of God. And when you believe that, see, when you know that even the devil can't do anything unless God allow it, and that God has a plan, he can't kill you. Satan can't come against you because you know that God has a plan and God is for you. And if the Spirit of God is for you, in other words, the spirit of the first man, right? Because God said, let us make man in our own image and our own likeness. He was a physical being, brothers and sisters. He made you in his own image and his own likeness. He was like you. He know all the pitfalls and everything. Why? Because he was just like us. So we listen to his knowledge, his teaching, and his guidance. Why? Because he learned these things before us. It's almost like a father. A father can direct the son, right? Because when the son is born, the father has already superseded the son from that age. The son is born, he's a baby. The father is 20, right? The son is 1. The father will protect him. He becomes 5. The father is 25. The father watches over him and protects him. Why? Because the father has enough knowledge to guide a child. The father has been 1, it's been 2, it's been 3, it's been 4, it's been 5, it's been 6, all the way up to the age of 25. That child has never been that age. So the child don't know any better. Do you understand what I'm saying? So by the time the child is 25, the father is what? He's 45, right? Or 45, right? Because that's 20 years. That's 20 years. The time the child is 25, the father is 45. That's 20 years. So the father can explain to the son how to respond to things at 25. You get what I'm saying? Because the father has been there. So he can guide the son. You have to think about God the same way. God has been where we are. Millions of billions and trillions of years. He's been where we are. Right? So he can guide us. The conscience of God can guide us. That's how he knows all things. Because he's already filled out this flesh, has been in this flesh, has perfected this flesh. Right? He has perfected it. So we can do the same thing. If we eat right, live right, walk right, talk right, teach the correct teachings, there's nothing we can't do. There's nothing we can't do. With the righteous influence, we could turn the entire world righteous. Just with righteous influence. Jesus had 12 and turned the entire world around, brothers and sisters. Is that right or wrong? He said his name was Emmanuel, which means what? God being with us. Come on, brothers and sisters. You know that God comes in human form. That's right. It's anthropological. So you know God comes in human form because we know he came in the form of Jesus. Right? They asked Jesus, said, what are you? Are you Elijah or one of the other prophets? They knew that back then. So why should it be strange that we tell you that God came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad? Not strange. God comes through your grandparents. This is the ancestors. We are connected with God. So we say the spirit of the ancestors come in form of our parents, our grandparents, right? In us, because they feel like we've been here before. That's the spirit of our ancestors. They guide us. God was one of us. We come from God. In other words, the first lineage of that life. And we accept it, right? And this mindset of wisdom can guide us. Come on, brothers and sisters. This is not hard. This is not hard. The white man would try to make it hard but it's not hard. I won't be discouraged. I don't want you to be discouraged. I won't be discouraged because I know that God is able to do all things. A mighty God. We serve a mighty God that's able to do all things. Could change the life of the prostitute, change the life of the whore, change the life of the pimp. God is able to do that. God is able to do that. You can't do it, but God can. If you decide to live a godly life, what do we mean when we say a godly life? What do we mean when we say a godly life? If you intend to live a godly life, if you will live a godly life, the life of God. What is the life of God? What is the life of God? Huh? What is the life of God? A righteous life. If you live a righteous life, you can influence others to live a righteous life, but they'll see you. Say, that brother's peculiar. How can I do what you're doing? I like your life. I want to live the life that you live. I want to live righteous. I want to be upright. I want to be an example to my son, my daughters, my wife. How can I live that life? I want her to learn this life so she can live it. And see, because the black family is the basic element of the religious institution of African culture. Come on, brothers and sisters. So that's why we do better in groups, village, when we congregate. That's the African word. It's the African word. Cong, right? To stick, regate together, right? Form unity, right? Don't our teachers tell us that in unity there's strength? Don't our teachers tell us that? Our teachers say in unity there's strength. Right. And brothers and sisters, if you know that there's strength in unity, why are you following the white man who tells you to divide? He divides you from your family, divides you from your community, divides you from your culture, divides you from your education, divides you from your folk ways, your moral ways, right? Divides you from your science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. He divides you. He keeps you divided. He divides you from one another. Have you fighting against one another? You don't even know why. Tell you, look at the white man that's in between. You've been talking about you and talking about you to him and talking about him to you, and you're looking at each other and you're missing the man. Now, today, when your eyes have become open, now that your eyes have become open, now you can see the white man for what he is. And I see more brothers and sisters that are waking up now more than anybody. And I tell you, I believe that's the reason why, excuse me, brothers and sisters, getting a little warmer here. I believe that's the reason why they're instilling martial law. Because they know that you're waking up. They know that you're waking up. You're waking up too fast. You're waking up too fast. And they know it. They know you're waking up. There's nothing they can do about it. Absolutely nothing they can do about it. They know that you're waking up. They can't do nothing about it. And that's dangerous. That's dangerous. Because he don't know what's going to happen. But the judgment of God is upon this land now. No matter where the white man is, he will experience the judgment of God, and God will literally wipe him off the planet because of the evil that he's done to black people. That you can believe. And Farakhan and all the other false black prophets will be judged for manipulating the white people and being paid as Judases to mislead black people and to leave many of them to slaughter. You will see that. You will see that. Ain't no sense of you getting mad at me. Huh? Excuse me, brothers and sisters. I know you understand. There's no sense of you getting mad at me. Because you know I'm right. There's no sense of you trying to defend Farakhan. Your arms are too short to box with God. Farakhan will be judged in history, in spirituality, in religion, and psychology for what he did to Minister Malcolm and his family, what he organized and taken a part in the death of those people. This is part of the judgment. Every time people talk about it, that's part of the judgment. But you can't defend Farakhan. You can't defend Farakhan because God is against what Farakhan has done. And he'll continue to have to pay for that. He'll continue to have to pay for that. Brothers and sisters, I want to hold you any longer than that. But I just wanted to talk to you a minute about what's going on. I'm glad we made it through. We got a little bit of this real, didn't we? We got a little bit of it. Didn't get much, but we got a little bit because I know that the devil has been messing with this system. But I'm going to leave it exactly like it is. And if it publishes, I'm going to leave it exactly like it is because I know that the devil has been messing with this system. That's what he does. If I was doing something wrong, like showing my naked body, Satan wouldn't worry about me. He wouldn't worry about me. There are fools out there every day showing their naked bodies. But the minute you come on here to talk about some truth and something that makes sense, the devil get busy. He don't like truth. You don't believe that, do you? The devil does not like the truth. He don't like it. And he'll send black demons and white devils, other white devils, in the satanic atmosphere to hurl assaults at the truth. But you ain't got to worry about it because a lie will never overcome the truth. And I'm so thankful that God, being the omnipotent power that he is, I'm so glad that he has given us truth, and we have the power of truth, that if we will speak the truth and not doubt, believe and not doubt, what we ask shall be given. And I've asked God to destroy the devils on this planet and their seed. And he already said that he's going to do it according to the book of Isaiah. Can I read that for you, brothers and sisters? Let me read that. I love this verse in Isaiah. I love the verse in Isaiah. I love that verse. Isaiah, the 14th chapter and the 14th verse. Best scripture in the Bible, as far as I'm concerned. Best scripture in the Bible. Isaiah, the 14th chapter and 14th verse. And it reads on this wise: I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That's what the devil said. But God tells him, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. The 24th verse of the 14th chapter of the book of Isaiah read on this wise, brothers and sisters. It said, the Lord of hosts has sworn, saying, surely I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have proposed, so shall it stand. My God, God is going to take Satan. God is going to give him a holy whipping and destroy him and wipe him out of existence. Brothers and sisters, if I didn't say it before, I want to tell you now, I love you. This is love talk. I'm not angry, brothers and sisters, but I love you. And I'm waiting on the power of God to deliver us all. Children, love your parents. Parents, love your children. Brothers and sisters, get along. Stop fighting in front of those children so that we can set the best example in front of them. If I didn't say it in the beginning, I say it now. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Just